Hey guys, welcome to the weekly challenge live stream for Yousician. I'm Alexis, and I go by the name Alexis Yousician in the guitar learning app, Yousician. Each week, Yousician releases challenges of 2 songs in varying difficulty levels. Users compete for high scores on the leaderboards. Each Sunday, I play through all the songs on guitar and break each one down for you, so you can reach your goals faster and post higher scores. Hey guys, what is up? Oh, Julian's starting early. Okay, so, peaceful Christmas classics. So peaceful. I'm gonna skip, I think my new thing is skipping the easy song because it's pretty easy. I don't know how much of a breakdown I'm gonna need with that. Having some, weird issues with my it might be my batteries are dying, not entirely sure, so we'll see what's going on, but I'm having some weird issues with recognition in some of the chord strumming stuff, so we'll see how it goes. Anyway, let's try this first one.
Perfect. Keep on rocking like this.
Okay. Probably not a great score, I'm guessing. There we go. So, apparently I don't exist. Okay, so I don't know what's up with that. Let's try that again. Take a look at the leaderboards here. Oh, goodness. Do I exist? I don't exist. So there you go. The app hates me today. Anyway, what was my... Let's see. What is my score? My score is... No, it wouldn't even say that. Okay, so I guess I'm not... It's not gonna show. I don't know what's going on with there. Maybe it'll... maybe after a couple of minutes or something like that, it'll actually refresh, and I will be there. So, anyway, let's take this one here and take a look here. This one here, it's slow enough. It's 3, 4, or 6, 8 time. It's slow enough that I think even if you kind of flub some notes a little bit and you're not super tight, you're probably going to get some greens with this one. So, you know, it's syncopated within the within the rhythm. So it's if you know the song, I mean, we've probably heard the song a billion times, right? Every Christmas it comes around, and we hear it again and again and again. It's in lots of different versions. So I'd imagine that this week's being able to gold star at least, I would think that these songs this week wouldn't be that difficult because of that fact that these are songs that we've all heard, whether you want to listen to them or not. You've heard them many times. Just, you know, obviously many people are shopping right now, so you're in a shopping mall, you're gonna hear this stuff. So there's no real huge technical issue with this one. It's just, can you hear it in your head? And I don't know if there's really much to break down with this one, because you probably can hear it in your head. At least you should be able to, with very little difficulty, purely because we've heard this on the radio so many times. Yeah. So not a whole lot, you know, maybe that part is difficult because you have to use your fourth finger, or you should be using your fourth finger. So that whole 3/4 thing. But really, there's not a whole lot going on with this one. So anyway, unless anybody has questions, I think I'll go on with that one. But, you know, feel free to ask questions on any of these. Let's see if my score exists. Nope, I don't exist. Okay, so anyway, let's move on. Let's do the cowboy chords. Okay, so this one here, this is where I was having problems with recognition. On the D chord, for some reason, that D chord was just finicky. Today I'm gonna be talking about note recognition in the app, so I might as well touch on this a little bit. If I start getting reds, I'm gonna switch pickups here. I have specific types of pickups in the saddles. So here's the saddles. These are actual pickups. And when I switch to those pickups, I get more of an acoustic sound. So here's the sort of the magnetic pickups, or the regular pickups. Actually, let me turn my sound off. I'm going to switch back and forth just so we don't have the mic for that. So you'll hear the difference in sound from, I'm going to start off with the magnetics and switch to the saddle pickups. So we'll see how it goes. If I'm having reds, I'm going to switch up which pickup I'm using. Okay, so there you go. I'm gonna try some the acoustic sound and see if those pickups are doing better. And again, this leads perfectly into what I plan on talking about is note recognition and chord recognition, just recognition in the app, and how there are so many variables of what guitar you have, what pickups you're using, what interface you're using, what computer you have, what operating system you're using. I mean, you could be using your phone, you could be using an iPad, you could be using a tablet, etc., etc. You could be using a computer. So there's so many variables as far as what determines the recognition, whether it's good or not. So here you're going to see what happens here. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get better recognition with this. You're going to see what happens when I switch from magnetic pickups to the piezo pickups. So we'll see how that goes. not fabulous. Hey, there you go. I have a score this time. So as you can see, I was still getting reds. How much of that is... Today is probably a bad example in the sense that I'm a little bit suspicious of my batteries in my guitars. So, it's not registering my score on the screen either. I'm a little suspicious of my batteries in my guitars, but yeah, it's as you can see that it's for whatever reason not getting great recognition, or my batteries are dying. So yeah, like I said, all three, like even my bass takes batteries, so it's iffy today, so I can't really say for sure in this one. The only real true test is torturing you guys with me playing Scarborough Fair again. I could do that. Maybe I'll do that later and see when I'm talking about the recognition and just see what's happening. Because if I can nail that one, then there's maybe something funny going on with this song. So as far as this one goes, as far as breaking it down, it's just chords. And that rhythm perpetually over and over and over and over again. Just getting your swinging down up thing there. Hey, there's a good thing I should try. Okay, so let's do this as a little bit of a test. I am going to downstrum with my magnetic pickups this entire song. Let's check that out and see if I get better recognition. Okay, so that was magnetic pickups. Let me switch to the acoustic sound, and let's see if I get better recognition on that one. Okay, so here is where I'll ask you guys. Have any of you guys been having problems with this one as far as recognition goes? Again, today, maybe it's me, maybe it's my my pickups in the sense of my battery. Don't know. So let me know if any of you guys are having recognition problems, and yeah, maybe we can rule that out, whether or not it's my guitars or whether it's just this song is kind of funky today. So, a little strange. So, anyway, really isn't a whole lot to break down with that one either. So, some pretty easy stuff going on. Now, this last one, this one has some tricky things going on. So, let's take a look at this one. I should be able to nail that one. So let me try that one again, and then I'll break that one down.
Well done. You can continue to the next.
Some different chord shapes in that one, so that you may or may not be familiar with. So that's really all, that I'm having difficulty with that one, is just remembering what all the chord shapes are in each specific instance. So let me try that one again. Making silly mistakes on that one. That's all right.
Almost perfect.
Let's take a look
Next
at what's going on. Not a bad score. But not a whole lot as far as, I think the rhythm's fairly easy in this one. Kind of be driving me crazy and I'm making silly mistakes, but chord shapes, I mean, yeah. If you don't, this is something that you should try to be familiar with. Is a lot of people know, here's your A chord and here's your E chord. They're open chords, or even bar chords. Being able to play all the way across. That's what most people end up learning. But all these little, inside chords where you only have to play 3 strings on strings 2, 3, 4, or even 4, 5, 6. These inside ones, or even 2-string things. These little inside things are a lot harder to read. Or 3, 4, 5, things like that. Being comfortable with all of these shapes takes a lot of time and practice to just memorize what they are. So I mean, this, yeah, A chord, and just not to mention having the accuracy to nail only the strings that you want to play, right? So now I use a little bit of a trick here. I wouldn't call it a trick so much, but a technique in the sense that I if I'm playing strings 2, 3, and 4, sometimes I will hook one of my fingers on the first string so that if I accidentally hit it, I'm not gonna get a note out of that. So that allows me to just bash through the strings. So that's something that you can try doing, is hooking one of your fingers on the strings that you don't want to ring. That way you don't have to worry about your accuracy too much. So but other than that, this is really about memorizing chord shapes. I'm not really reading the notes, like in the sense of I just kind of know those shapes, that E7 shape. So I'm going by memory most of the time. So a lot of these shapes I've played every single one of these shapes before. So and they're not a whole lot of weird shapes. So this one should be, at some point for you, you should be able to play this one with some ease, because these shapes are going to come back. For me, they've come back. I've played these shapes a billion times in lots of different songs, so there's not a whole lot in this one in the sense of huge amount of difficulty. This one here, that's when you have to play two strings that are not on adjacent strings. That might be difficult. There's two ways of doing that. One, I'm hybrid picking. I'm playing the top note with my middle finger and the lower note with my pick. Or you can play through all three strings except mute that middle string. So it's doable both ways. It's not like you must do one specific technique. So it is doable with a pick or pick and fingers hybrid picking. So let's see. I don't think there's anything else with this one. Pull-offs. Okay, so that, especially a pull-off with your pinky, requires a little bit of strength. So I'm holding down the chord. And one thing that you have to remember with pull-offs is that it's not the grip of death where if you hold that finger too hard, you end up bending the string. So it's a weird combination of you're pressing firmly to get a nice solid note, but the act of pulling off is just your finger just really easily falls off the string. I'm not bulldozing through that. My finger just quite easily comes off, especially with the faster stuff. I'm not really putting a lot of force into that. My fingers are just falling off the strings. Okay, let's take a look here. A lot of repetition, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so that was pretty fast. These songs weren't that difficult, so I wasn't imagining that it would take that long. So I'll spend some more time with these ones trying to improve my score. Let's see if I have a score now with this one, or if my score is just forever in limbo, non-existent. I guess maybe it is. I might have to play that one again. I won't do that now, but I'll do that in my own time just to get a better score. So okay, I'm going to switch over to bass here, and I'm going to play one that, to be quite honest, I'm simply not that good at. It pretty much captures a lot of my weaknesses with bass playing, which is string crossing. My string crossing, to be quite honest, sucks. It's not very good. But I really, really like this. The bass line is awesome. It's just a lot of fun to. It's just a fun sounding bass line. I was gonna say it's fun to play, but it's hard to play. So, which is A Night to Rewind. Bah. Can't type. So, there we go. If I could play it well, I mean, I've gold starred it, but that really doesn't. These gold stars do not show my playing ability with this one, and it's only a level 7. Yeah, it's only level 7, but I have a lot of difficulty with this one. I like it. I love the bass line as far as what it sounds like. My skills as far as crossing strings is pretty poor. So it's a little bit of a personal kind of nemesis as far as trying to be able to play this one. So anyway, let me mute and switch up, and we'll take a look at this. Okay. That was, believe it or not...
Are you sure your bass is in tune?
Believe it or not, a pretty decent run for me. Usually, and by the looks of the scores, either not a lot of people have played this, or other people are finding this difficult too. And I'm guessing it's a, wait a minute. This wasn't a challenge, so I'm assuming the bass line was in that the bass line had to be in that challenge. Maybe not. Maybe this wasn't a challenge, because there's only one version of it. If it was in a challenge, there would have been 2 versions of it, correct? I think so. Anyway, so maybe some of you don't even know this one exists. So, that could be the reason why that was not a good run. I'm not really a bass player, and I'm struggling with this one. So my guess is that not a lot of people have played this one. So if you're a bass player out there, try this one. It's a lot of fun. Those little licks that sort of, most part it's not that hard. It's just there's certain parts of it that are just, they just sticks in these really cool little licks there. So I just love this bass line just because I think when I heard this, I don't really listen to the guitar player. I don't listen to the guitar player and really focus on that one, except for that middle section. But the bass playing, it just stands out to me. Like, it just pops out. It's just he throws in some really neat licks there. So, and again, this is great for me in the sense that being able to play that there it is. That part there is just like that is just my hand, my right hand, specifically my right hand, going across those strings. I find that quite difficult. So for me, it's great to work on improving my string changing for bass as well as for classical. So really some really great lines there. As far as what is happening here, let's just take a look. So wow, it's quiet. This stuff should be fairly easy. This is just rhythm. Some syncopation, so maybe that's going to be difficult, but to me, this isn't the hard part. This is just having the song in your head, right? So let's just skip that. All of this stuff should be fairly easy. It's this guy right here that you might have trouble with. So that line, first of all, it's just a really cool line, to me, in my opinion. I just like that one, and again, you can see how much you're changing strings. So being able to do this skill, and again, different people are going to have different opinions of how you should finger that. I try to stick strictly to I and M, versus throwing my A finger in there. I could try doing that. I'm not very good at it, so that's something that I haven't practiced a lot of, but I'm trying to, again, for scalar runs, trying to be able to do just strict I and M, these 2 fingers going across that part there. And then this part is just fun. I just love this part. This is, and again, this is mostly about a rhythm, actually, no, it's just that part there. That's just scale stuff. So, it's just, and then here, again, my nemesis, being able to switch that string. You can see right here, this 4-7-5, being able to string change there really smoothly is something that I'm still working on, but fun to and again, I should not, as a guitar player, I should definitely not be in the top 10. So all you bass players out there, go play this one. It's not getting enough love as far as I'm concerned, and it's fun to play. those, especially that, that bridge, just all that string, you can see here how much is just going all over the place, all over the string. So, and again, some parts of it, maybe it's, I could see if somebody thinking it's kind of boring, but to me, those parts, those licks and that middle section is worth, you know, worth playing it for, just for that, just because it's fun to play. So anyway, yeah, I want to talk about this app. So there's been lots of discussion in the Yousician Facebook, Yousician Friends Facebook page about recognition and certain things. And I think I'm not going to go into too much detail about it today, but basically, I'm kind of switching up the order of things here. I'll get to those exercises in a little bit, so I don't want to talk too much about it. But as you can see today, me switching pickups can make a big difference. And I think some people will make the statement that the app is bad in this situation, or it's good in this situation, or it works in this situation, it works or it doesn't work. So there are, first and foremost, right out of the gate, there are so many variables going on. So many variables in the sense of like, are you using your phone? Are you using an iPad? Are you using iOS? Are you using Android? Are you using a tablet? There are, so many things can determine, whether or not you're getting good recognition, which pickup you're using, how good are your pickups, a bad cable that buzzes, that you don't hear it, that you're not hearing it because you don't have distortion on, or you only hear it in distortion. Certain things like that. Every tiny little minuscule detail. What pickup you're using? I'm using an aftermarket pickup that I installed in my guitars, and that, for whatever reason, works better than magnetic pickups. So I mean, how are you to know that? That's such a weird variable that most of you aren't going to have that option to switch to that pickup, because most guitars don't have that. So yet I have an advantage over anybody who doesn't have that, because clearly for me, every time I switch to that pickup, I always get better recognition. So is that an unfair advantage? I wouldn't call it that, but it's unfair in the sense of the big scheme that there are so many variables involved with this, in sense of what is going to determine whether you get good or bad recognition. That it's, you can't really say definitively the app is good with this or the app is bad with that, because there's so many things. Simple things like, if you were playing, let's say you're playing acoustic with a phone. Are you doing it in an ideal environment? Are you doing it with headphones on? That affects the recognition. Are you doing it while you're doing laundry, while there's a hum in the background? That's going to affect your recognition. There's so many things involved with this. And I'm going to be doing actually a blog series with this topic, because it's a pretty deep topic. I'm going to be talking about a lot of things, like the history of MIDI guitar, and just how that was a disaster for many, many years as far as note recognition. This is a very difficult thing. The fact that we have apps like Yousician or Rocksmith, or I think another one is called Rock Prodigy or something like that they even exist, and it's viable, that you can use it, is pretty amazing. The fact that it even works at all is pretty amazing. So I'm going to get into more detail with this in this blog series of just note recognition in apps like this, basically talking about that and how difficult it actually is. So when I first played Yousician, I was blown away by the fact that it could even track as fast as it is. I think it gets a little sketchy at really high speeds, but for the most part, I can play almost as fast as I want, and it will track it perfectly. And this was even back in the Guitar Bots days. So, yeah, it's not perfect, and I don't think it ever will be, but I don't think that's anything to do with the nature of, I think that's to do with the nature of how we hear things a little bit, and it's just a difficult thing to do. So I mean, for me, like, even a year ago when the app wasn't as good as it is now, and it had the note recognition wasn't as good, I was still really impressed with this app. So again, it's a really, really deep conversation, and I could talk about it for like hours. But like I said, I'll save that for another time when I do my blog series. So anyway, I'm going to switch up instruments here, and we're going to do some of these exercises here that were uploaded by Rabatavus. And if you're in the higher levels, I would honestly say that these exercises are must-do exercises. Like if you can't do these exercises, pretty much, you haven't done your homework. These exercises you should just have down. So they're really great exercises. So anyway, let me switch up here, and we'll get to it. Okay, I'm not gonna do every single exercise in here, because as you can see, there are lots. So I'm gonna start with, let's just take a look at one octave. This is the first one here. So and for some reason the collections aren't showing up. I don't know if that's, nope. Because I mean, the last time I did a search with this, it actually showed the collections, not just songs. It found the songs as well as the collections. So, and they don't exist. So maybe he's changed some things. Not sure. So anyway, let's try this first one, and then I'll break it down. Okay. Whoops. Wow, this thing's... The volume in the Yousician is pretty quiet, and I'm having to adjust things a lot. So, okay, so this one here, I forgot how this goes. So basically, that's part of the problem with these ones, is that they're a bit long, so you really have to have them memorized right out of the gate. So that one was pretty easy. It's just a major scale moving up the fretboard. So this part here is moving up one fret at a time before you finish each pattern. So I had forgotten that. So some of these are a little bit difficult to do, in the sense that if you don't have it memorized, you're going to crash and burn. So you might want to take these ones into practice mode to really get them memorized. I'm going to see if I can salvage this one. If not, I'll restart it or just move on to another one, just because I'm more concerned with just pointing out what's happening in these exercises and the value of these exercises less than, playing through every single one of them. So let me see if I can salvage this one, and we'll go from there.
Let's give it another try, shall we?
Okay, so I'm a little confused here. Unless he re-uploaded this one. I've played... Okay, so in other words, there's there's some weird things going on. I'm assuming with their servers, because that showed as a high score as if I had never played it before, even though when you go to leaderboards, clearly I have played it before. Yeah, definitely some weird things are going on, because I have gold starred that one, and now it's showing, or at previously gold starred it, and now it's showing that I haven't gold starred it, and it showed that I had a new score, even though clearly I don't have a new score. So anyway, so some weird things going on here, and also I don't have a profile picture for some reason, so I'm just a head silhouette. So anyway, that one there is a pretty good one. It's just ascending and going up the scales. Let me quickly take a look at this one before I actually play it. Let's take a look here. But just okay. All right, so this one here, this one is a sequence. It's called sequencing thirds, or sequencing melodic thirds. So melodic thirds are basically, I don't want to go into too much detail, but basically it's just a way of going through a scale versus going straight up and straight down. So it's essentially skipping to the third note over. So if you count through the notes, 1, 2, 3, I'm starting on the first note, then the third note, and you start on the next note, and you go 1, 2, 3, 1. So you play the first note and the third note, and it just repeats throughout the scale. These are pretty much considered absolute musts in music. It doesn't matter if you're a guitar player or a violinist or any instrument, piano player, playing thirds, sequencing thirds, and this is why I'm sort of pointing out these exercises. And to find them, just look up rabatavus, or even if you just looked up RABA, I'm sure you would come up with these exercises. But these are absolute must exercises. As you can see, this is a lot of notes, so I don't know how we'll do this one, so I'll try it. I thought I was in Okay, so that wasn't practice mode. So anyway, I didn't get a score on that one. That's okay. I've already done that one. But some people, this is a personality thing. Some people, these are really difficult to do purely because they kind of get either they get bored or they find it really difficult and confused with what's happening, and that's where you have to slow it down and really memorize the pattern. This is not. I am not reading. Let's just put that out there. I am not reading this. I know what it is. I know the concept, and I have memorized the finger pattern, and I'm just going on autopilot and playing through this. So this is absolutely not me reading the notes. So, but again, personality type. I love these kinds of exercises. I'm talking like since I was a kid. When the minute I picked up the guitar, the first time I came across an exercise like this, I just love them. I love doing these ones. I could do these, and I have done these for hours upon hours upon hours. I just find them. Oh, I haven't gold star this one. I just find them fun to do. I just like exercises. I find it's almost like the repetition and just the droning of the same kind of notes over and over and over again, to me, is almost like putting me into like a meditative state. So for me, call me weird, but I find them really enjoyable to play. But again, a lot of people find them, boring or confusing. So let's take a look at this one. This one here is, and I'm not going to go through every single exercise here. I'm going to do this one here and then take a look at maybe some octave stuff, and then we'll switch over to the stutter picking. So this one here is, actually I called the other one, I can't remember what I called the other one. The other one was called, should have been called melodic thirds. It wasn't sequencing thirds. This is sequencing threes. The other one was melodic thirds. So this one is playing 3 notes through the scale, and then playing another 3 notes through the scale, and then playing another 3 notes through the scale. So 1, 2, 3, start on the next note. Actually, no, this is sequencing 4s, but starting in a weird place. I'm not going to get into all of the details of what this is, but it's actually sequencing 4s, but 1, 2, 3, 4. But it starts in the middle of the sequence. So this can be a little bit confusing and take a little bit of time to be able to get this into your head. So let me do a run of this. Hold on a sec. Let me take a look at this one. This is a different pattern. Interesting. I don't know if that was intentional or not. Let's take a look here. Okay, so that was constantly switching patterns. So that one was pretty tricky. That one I was kind of reading. And as you can see, I haven't gold starred that one. So that one was a pretty tricky one because it's not one idea all the way through. It's constantly changing. So that one was a little bit of reading, a little bit of going by muscle memory. So bit of a tricky one there. So obviously I haven't gold starred it, so I need to keep working on that one. So let's take a look at the 2 octaves ones. I'm only going to do a couple of these, maybe, and then we'll go to the starter picking. Look at that. And this is pretty long, so I'm not going to do the whole thing. Okay, so again, I'm not going to do the whole thing here. This one here switches up. So why am I able to play these? Because even though these are actually different patterns than what I'm used to, I like 3-note per string patterns. These are not 3-note per string patterns, a lot strict 3-note per string patterns, and it's changing up. So it's not like I know exactly what all of these are. I don't. But I've practiced every concept that's in here. So there's a lot of muscle memory coming on, whereas like I can look and I'm not reading every note, but I can recognize the pattern of what I need to do, and then my fingers are going by autopilot. So that sort of shows you how much, I've practiced these exercises and just drilled them into muscle memory. And yeah, as if you look at some of these longer ones, the 2-octave ones, they're pretty stinking long. I'm not going to play this one, but you can see here how long this one is. It's a lot of notes. So, yep. Tons of notes. So, but it's really, really good for you. It's just good for you to do this stuff. So, anyway, like I said, in my opinion, these are like pretty much absolute must-do exercises if you're a serious guitar player. And then we have these starter picking things. So I showed you the starter picking stuff before, but I added some extra ones that sort of lead you into being able to do the full thing. Come on. There we go. As you can see, this is a long one. A lot of parts. Let's see if anybody's been playing. Look at that. Yeah, so I mean, I pretty much didn't really spend too much time on these. I just pretty much upped it and just put a score up. Yeah, I haven't even gold starred it yet. So, whoops, that's not what I wanted. This one here. Okay, I've gold starred that one. But I'm not going to play the whole thing. Same thing. So just these are just patterns. Really, really good for your developing speed and playing tight. These are tough for me to do. I mean, I uploaded these partly for myself to improve on my picking and improve on how tight I can play with rhythms that sort of switch up very quickly. So this is going from 16th notes to 8th notes, which is pretty tricky. Okay, so what am I doing? What is going on here? Basically, these patterns here, or what's going to be happening with these patterns, is that there's a certain number of patterns. There's essentially 4 in like a set of fingerings. So if you look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's one set. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's another set. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, there we go. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's like a set of 3 finger patterns, and within each set is 4 different possibilities of fingerings for your left hand. So meaning we have this, which is the first set, and then there's 4 different possibilities of how you can finger that. Then we have, and then there's 4 different possibilities of that, and then finally, and there's 4 different possibilities of that. Why? Basically, that's what's happening in this giant monster of an exercise. And I will be uploading more of these to sort of, lead you into being able to play the big long one, as well as different speeds, slower speeds. So this one here is basically all 3 of those sets in a row, except being applied through playing an entire scale, all the way up, all the way back down. And it's a lot of notes. It's a long sequence. This is set 2, next set 3, 4, next set 2. That's back to the first set. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So really, when you think of it that way, there's not a whole lot to this exercise. It's just long. Being able to apply that to, an entire scale, that's a lot of notes. I mean, look at that. Yeah, it's ridiculous, right? So that's why I've done all of these series here. So if we take a look here at this one, which for some, okay, that makes sense. All right, I'm not going to play through this one. I'll just show you what's going on. Takes a while to download. So Rico just said, I can't tell if you're being sarcastic. I would enjoy a whole stream of just exercises. Just so fascinating. I would say that, and I would, I don't know if I would enjoy an entire stream of exercises, but I like playing them more so than I would enjoy watching playing them. So, but to me, they're fun. So anyway, so if you can let me know if you're actually serious or not, I'm just curious. So as you can see here, this is in 3 parts. And the reason it's in 3 parts is it's those 3 sets. So 3 sets of 4 possible fingerings. Okay, and Rico says no sarcasm. Interesting. I don't know if I would do that, but if there was actually an interest in me doing more exercises, I would consider doing that. But that's up to you guys. Because, like I said, I could do exercises all day long, over and over and over again. I just love doing them. So, anyway, this whole series here is basically, a cookie crumb trail trying to lead you toward being able to play the giant monster 16th in the entire 16th starter picking exercise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add more because there's a big gap between number 5 and playing the whole thing. There's still a lot more gradual progression that we can do, but I just up this for now just to get it up there. But not a whole lot of people have played them, and this is pretty advanced stuff. So yeah, so 10 people have played this exercise in total. Let's see what this one here. So this is the easiest one. So how many people have played this one? 10 people have played this exercise. So not a whole lot of people have played these exercises. So, and that's fine. I'm not terribly concerned with, how many people play these, because like I said, I've uploaded these first and foremost to try to help myself improve. And I added these other ones, these extra ones, if it helps anybody else, great. If not, if you guys think it sucks, that's okay too, because it's helping me. So anyway, show Craig's scores in what? I'm not showing Craig's scores for everything. Anyway, I think that's about wrapping it today. Oh man, their servers are just crazy. 4th position. Anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap it. Oh, look at that! 21 people have played that one. I guess I will do some improv to wrap this up, I think. So this one was a fast one. Not a whole lot going on. I didn't really do much for tone, so I don't think I'm going to be showing too much of that. Anyway, let's see here. What jam track shall I play over top of? Let's see. I don't know if I've done this one before. Have you guys heard this? Have you heard this jam track before? Play something heavy. What to play? What to play? One of my favorite jam tracks here is, and if you're looking for jam tracks, go to guitarplayback.com. A lot of my jam tracks that I'm using are from there. I do make my own jam tracks, so they're all scattered and sketchy kind of thing. They aren't complete, and they're like ideas that I plan on using for my own compositions. So yeah, let's see, what amp am I going to use today? So I am going to use British Plexi. So let's take a look here. So what have I got? I have basically this is, I don't know if you can see this, but if I go into this is my Helix amp selection, and here's all the amps that I have here. I think there's 50 amps with funny names because they can't use, for trademark reasons, they can't really use the real names of the amps. So this is a high watt. One of my favorite ones is a British Plexi, the BRT. It says, which means bright. So this is the one that I like to use. Just a really warm sound. With a mic, it sounds kind of crappy, but that is pretty much my go-to right now for lead tones. One of my go-tos. It's that one and the Uberschall from Bogner. Those two are my two go-to amps as far as lead tones. I just love the sound of them. Here's the Uberschall. A little bit more gainy though. Versus the Marshall, I'll dig that one up, which is a little bit more mid-range. And I think a little bit warmer as well. So anyway, thanks for coming and checking out the stream, guys. I'll be doing this again next... No, I won't. Christmas. So think I'm going to be doing Stay tuned on this channel. I'll be posting when the next stream would be, and I'm thinking probably Friday for the next stream, just because of the holidays, especially, and then the following week after that we're going to be having New Year's Eve, so I'm not going to be doing those days, so I'm thinking maybe Friday, so Friday the 23rd, and then I'm not sure what the date would be for, we'll see about the other one, I'm not sure, the following week for closer to New Year's Eve, so we'll see what happens there. Anyway, thanks for coming out for the stream. I know I've been sketchy with, I didn't put out a video this week, I've just been kind of burnt out with doing videos, so and I'm not sure what I will be doing for this coming week as far as what video to do, but I'll try to get another video out this week, and after the whole holiday thing is done and over with, we'll try to get back to a regular schedule. So anyway, thanks for coming out, guys. I'm going to do a little bit of improv, if that's okay with you, to take us out, and we'll see you next time.